It was reported through the week that Nathan has been doing an online course with Seahawk that Seahawks coach Pete Carroll runs. Are you able to shed some light on that and what that's about?
Yeah, he did that last year. So, yeah, over a fair amount of time, put a lot of work into it, and I think he's got a lot of benefit out of it.
How important is it, I guess, just with the digital age that we're living in at the moment, and I guess the scrutiny that we've already seen around the game for our players, to making sure that they're focusing their energy into the right areas and also knowing the importance, the voices that are important?
It's incredibly important, I think. The rise of social media in particular. It's not just for our athletes as well, it's for any kids out there. I'm sure there's lots of parents out there with young teenage kids who are going through all sorts of stuff at school with their friends, just trying to work life out as you go through adolescence. And I think that the other people's opinions often have a huge impact on those kids. So I think the point is it's one thing to talk about it and say what you need to be able to do, but it's another thing to be able to develop the skills to actually cope and to be able to deal with it and cope with it. So the course that Nat did, and I'm sure there's plenty of others. There's plenty of other help and advice out there that can actually help you sort of navigate through that.
As a dad, is that something that you've had to, I guess, over the last few years, have a chat with Nathan about, just how to, I guess, deal with that, or just know that you're there to support him?
Yeah. Look, he's come up with a fair bit himself. I mean, I'm not on social media, and I didn't come through that that sort of generation. But obviously, I understand how it works, and it's around everywhere. And there's enough people on it in my house so I get a fair idea of what's going on. But he actually chose himself. I think it was last year sometime when he was getting a lot of negative sort of press and whatnot, opinions, to actually get off parts of the social media, certain formats, I guess. So I thought that was his way of dealing with it, and I think it's hard to completely shut yourself off from it, especially for young people. But it's probably just a way of managing, what you take in, what you don't, and then whose advice you listen to and who you don't.
I think whatever he's doing, it seems to be working at the moment. He's in great form up against another young, talented half, Mitchell Moses, tomorrow. How crucial will that battle of the two number sevens be?
Crucial for each one of their teams' performance for sure. But they'll both tell you that without their forward packs doing well, it's always difficult. So first and foremost, you want your forwards laying a platform for you, and if you can do that, then give yourself a chance through your kicking game and direction. And that's one thing that's been really good at consistently. Finishing our sets off, putting the ball in the right position throughout this year. Ably helped with from Jerome Ropati, who's chimes in when he needs to, and he's done a really good job there as well. So, but I also think our forwards need a lot of respect from for what they've been able to do each week, and they're certainly up against it. A very good Parramatta pack tomorrow.
You mentioned Jerome there, and the partnership that him and Nathan have. They've been playing together for a long time as young fellas. How much further can they go? They're already going so well, but what more can you see from them?
Yeah, well, I don't know the ceiling. I do know that you're right. They've been together for a while, and now they're obviously pairing up in the in the big time, and doing a good job. And every game they play, every situation they come, they go into, that's new for them. There's a new experience and a chance to develop not only themselves as individuals but as a partnership. And obviously we've got some games coming up, but starting with tomorrow's game, where it'll be another new experience for them in terms of the quality of the opposition, time of the year, importance of the game. So that looking forward to see how they match up and in that one.
I guess one doubt that people may have about the team is the big match experience of some of the younger players, like the two halves. You've got full confidence that they can handle every match from here on in, all the big games?
Absolutely. Nat's had his sort of share of experience, I guess, in playing Origin and playing semi-finals, and so he's would have learned a lot out of that. Romy's probably coming into it more for the first time, so But they were both sort of inexperienced, well, not both, but a lot of our players were inexperienced just playing NRL as well. And a lot of things have happened this year, the first time for everybody, COVID break, the rules changed. The fact that we've been on the top of the table for quite some time, we've been able to handle that as well. I absolutely understand that there'll be question marks over us, at this stage and going into the finals. But we'll just have to prepare as well as we can and give ourselves a chance, and we'll see what happens.
And do you feel like this team can do something special, like potentially on Friday can be the third team in the NRL era to win 13 games straight?
Yeah, well, I guess in that sense, so there's only one game in front of us at a time, and without looking too much into the winning run and how it happened, it's just really been a collection of performances and wins. All started the same way, preparing as hard as we can, respecting the opposition and training hard. So we've been able to put together some consistent performances that give us the chance to win. Been able to win, obviously lots of those games, and it's on again tomorrow, and we've prepared pretty much the same. So hopefully we'll give ourselves a chance to win tomorrow, and then what comes after that will come.
Ivan, the Eels are the only team to beat you this season. What's the message been to your boys this week to make sure that doesn't happen again? Yeah,
it hasn't really been that kind of directive specifically. We learned a good lesson out of that game against the Eels, where I thought we did pretty well for most of the game, and we were sort of cruising for a while. Not cruising, but I just thought we were just treading water for a while there, and they struck and then struck 3 times in a short space of time when they had a lot of momentum, and we just couldn't handle that momentum that night. So we learned a lot out of that game, and have been able to learn from that and use that experience to our advantage, I suppose, in the last sort of 3 months. So it's going to be a tough game. It's a long time since that game, and I think both teams have probably evolved since then. So just looking forward to the clash. I know a lot of people are keen to see the game. See a bit of a rivalry between the two sides for a long time, and I think that's healthy.
Ivan, it's Are You OK Day today. Has I guess any of the boys made a point of checking in on each other, or just I guess because of everything that's happened with COVID, have you done it a bit more as a squad?
Our boys check in on each other every single day, and that's not that's completely authentic. I think it comes out on the field. It's pretty. I think it's obvious how much our boys love each other and enjoy each other's company, and they care for each other. It was really shown only a few weeks back when Brent Naden was involved in that ugly incident up at Gosford there, and how the boys all got around NATO. And so it's just another day for us in that sense. I think our boys do a pretty good job.
Ivan, can I ask you about the depth? Have you ever coached a team with this much depth? On your reserves, you've got guys like Kenny, Capel, Burton and Staines who'd walk into a lot of starting 13s.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, really. I think one of our strengths this year has been our teamwork, which means that if the team's firing and everyone's doing their job, then it's a lot easier for people to slot in and just play well. So I'm happy with the squad we've got. It's certainly got some headaches around selection that probably started this week with most of our squad available for selection again. So it'll help certainly to drive performance, not only in games but at practice over the next few weeks, and we'll see what our best team looks like when it comes finals time.
Hey Ivan, obviously a couple of reports overnight that James Tamou looks like he's potentially going to deal with the Tigers from next year. Have you had any chats with him? And on that, just what sort of character is he like, and leader is he been like around the club?
Yeah, I've been talking to Jimmy for right through the process really. Just getting sort of updated. It's a really difficult situation for us. Jimmy's been integral member of our side, and obviously the captain. The way he's grown as a leader, in the last season and a half has been amazing and really special to watch. He's had such an influence on our young team. His performances have been, consistent week in, week out. And if it ends up going to another organisation, then they're going to get a good one, that's for sure.